Hi guys, I'm Tamitha Saunders from T5's Crafty Corner. So happy you could be here. So today we're going to be going over a glittered flowered wood grain peekaboo tumbler. And we used all different colors of blue glitters for this tumbler. It's a 16 ounce. It's a 16 ounce hog. And it's a fairly simple cup to do. So let's just get to it. Okay. Gonna French blue. Just randomly spraying. And we got ink blue. And midnight blue. Okay, now I'm going to take the French blue again. And then the ink blue. And then the midnight. Then I forgot my handle, so we're gonna do some squirts on the handle. All right, and that's just what we got. Okay. Doing some fast set epoxy. Will you close the door for me, honey?
Yeah.
You know, you see the paint runs, but it really don't matter because it's going to be all covered with glitter, so I wasn't too concerned with it. I am putting a thicker layer on because we are going to be applying some chunkies. Getting it around this rim. Get the handle real good. I always just kind of twirl it. Okay. We're just gonna pat these down. Any pokies sticking up. I'm just gonna do the handle first. Get it all coated nice and good. Now I didn't spray seal it or anything because it's a peekaboo, so I wasn't too concerned with any of the glitter shifting. And they're literally all blues, so it didn't matter to me whether if they shifted or not. And I'm also going to get right up in here in the little creases around the handle. That way when we go to smooth it on, okay. Hi guys, so this is what we got after 2 coats of epoxy. We're going to sand the rim and clean the cup up a little bit, and then we'll be ready for our decals. This is, I used my Dremel to do the rim, and this is the tip I use. I am going to use my little flat cutters. I do got a couple little pokies sticking up where I'm going to trim it down. That way our decals, when we put them on, we won't have any issues. There's one right here, which we're going to tape the handle off. I'm just feeling around and anywhere where I feel one. Because sometimes it's just hard to see. It seems like I tried rolling it around on parchment paper, and for some reason it seems to always mess my glitter up. I don't know, maybe I'm using too much epoxy when I'm doing the epoxy method, but I just prefer this, I guess. All right, now I'm going to get some electrical tape and we're going to tape the handle off. I think we got this good enough. I love the glitters. They turned out very pretty. I always just prefer using electrical tape for this because it's real flexible and it's pretty easy to get off. Normally I'll just cut a slit and it comes right off. All right, now we're ready to put our decals on. Okay, I got my flowers all weeded out. When I do these all in like a full sheet, and then I just cut them up because I make a lot of these tumblers, and then I just pick which ones I want to use on the cups, because I just do random sizes, but I always do full sheets. Now this isn't going to have nothing on it but the flowers, being the peekaboo. A lot of times my most popular is a photo with this style. A lot of people like having a photo inset. And I recorded a video of the last one I did, but something happened to it when I was trying to get more storage, and it really messed up a lot of my video clips, came up missing, which has put me behind on editing my videos, trying to search for everything. I'm picking the larger one first. And you know, there's no, I just place them randomly. I don't have like a certain style that I use. I just always randomly place them. And that makes each cup unique and different. I want to do some up at the top. So on the ones that I have already previously cut, see how I never trimmed the ones that had cut marks already. So I like saving those anyway, even though they're not full images. And then those are the ones that I like to put towards the top of the tumbler. Now, I'm not going to show me applying every one of the decals, but I will show you what it looks like in the end. And I'll do my best to highlight the certain features. You know, with this being smaller at the top than the bottom, sometimes, you know, you lay it and then you go ahead and press it down and lift it so you can angle it the proper way where it's going to lay nicely. Whoops, didn't have those pressed down all the way. Now I cut all this out on the 631 vinyl, so that's a removable vinyl. It just makes it easier when you go to, it's definitely easier to weed, but it's also easier when you go removing it. I'm just gonna kind of lay it close to the rose one. And like I said, with this cup being curved, all you got to do is press down, and then you can raise up, so that way you got all this extra, where that way you can get your stuff to lay. This is really hard to try to do this and make it to where you guys can see everything. And you know, you can always tell when you miss something, but see how this is? So this is how we're gonna raise that. And now we gotta now they can lay flat. So you know, you can just move your transfer tape, just start raising some of it up after you get it pressed, and it helps you get the rest all laid down flat. And you know, it doesn't matter where the handle, see how I got some of it coming up on the handle? We'll just cut that off. I mean, we'll get it to lay down the best we can. And then when we go to remove the tape, it'll be fine. Okay, here's what we got. I'm gonna take it outside and I'm gonna spray paint it white. Remember, before you spray paint, make sure you go through and you're double checking to make sure everything is laid down. All right, we got our cup all painted white. And now we're going to add our inks. For today's inks, we're going to be using Fairytale Glitters Walnut and Marabou's Brown. We're going to try those, and I haven't decided if I'm going to incorporate an odd color. So, and this is just, I always save these if you've watched any of my other videos, and then I got this. And I'm just using my, my brown chip brush. And then I always save my alcohols also. So I got this, and this is my one that's for brown. So I'm going to start out with the walnut. I don't have a cheat sheet, so I can't remember what color it looks like. Because, you know, when you apply them, they all look so different once they're on. And sometimes they don't even look nothing like. And I'm just randomly placing these colors. This is just how I always do it. I don't have any rhyme or reason. But you notice how I am going back and forth. It's because of those flower decals. You got to really get up and underneath in there to make sure you get all the coverage. Now, you can see where some of it tried to lift. You want to be careful on those areas. And around your handle, sometimes, you know, get up on the tape so that way you make sure that you didn't miss anything. You definitely want to keep going in the same direction. You see how I went like that, but then I immediately went up and down. Because sometimes when this stuff's set in place, it's hard to change the look of it. So, okay, now I'm going to get the brown. See how it's like a real rich color? It'll just blend them in together. Now I'm gonna dipping this in my alcohol, but then I'm gonna pat it. Dip it, then I pat it a little, because you don't want too much alcohol. And you know, inks are one of my favorite things. I have, oh goodness, I have so many different colored inks. I've done an all blue wood grain with yellow glitter underneath of it. That one turned out super cool. So, you know, you just use your imagination. This one, we're just going with the straight wood look. But sometimes, like if I got green glitter in it or something like that, I'll mix a little bit of the moss in it. And that gives it a really cool look. I am going to cut out some of the inks, but basically we're just going back and forth between the two colors and touching up as we need. Now I'm just using the alcohol to just kind of give it the look that I want it to have. So, but make sure you dab it because it'll get real kind of blotty looking. Can't even speak. And see, I kind of like how it gives this look right here. Can you see that? Because it just looks natural that way. Now here we're just going to take the napkin and we're going to dip it in alcohol and go in a swirly motion and just keep going in a circle to give it the wood look. Removing the alcohol as we go. And now we can immediately go in and start removing our decals. So we're going to start off by removing the handle. Sometimes you may need to put a slit in the tape, but if you're not able to get it. And you can see I'm using my knife to cut slits to finish removing the rest. Once we get the handle all removed, we're just going to move on and start removing all the decals. So after we're finished removing all the tape from the handle, we're going to jump ahead at removing the decals. And you can see I'm sitting here doing this on the bottom of the cup, and it's the same process during the whole thing. And you can see the decals very clearly once you apply the ink. So just always double check to make sure you have them all removed. Okay, guys. Oh, excuse me. I'm going to double check this in the light. This took me 41 minutes. We're going to touch up some of the spots. I'm going to hold the the cup close, and you can see some very faint little white spots from when I removed, like right here's a good example. See it in the rose? That's just from the spray paint and removing the decals. Sometimes a little paint may have seeped through there, or it may have pulled some of the ink up when it, either way, we're going to use a small paintbrush and we're going to touch those up. And I shouldn't have to break out any ink. I should be able just to use the alcohol and the small brush to do all this touch up. I'm just going to use the little nail brush that I got from Amazon. I ordered these real little fine, and you see how I'm just dipping the alcohol into this. And then I'm also, I'll just use this one. Gonna touch it there because we don't want it to really show. And now I'm not going to show the whole process of this because it is very time consuming, because I'm a perfectionist and I'm going to keep going until I don't see anything. But as you can see, I'm literally just touching where the white is and turning it brown. That's it. And some of them, if you get a paint run where you know that it's seeped up under, you can just take your knife and you can just go like this and you can scratch that paint right off and you'll never notice. And you can just continue. But you can see it's pretty easy. We're just lightly going over where the white is and turning it brown. And you can do this if you accidentally scratch your cup, you would do this same process to fix that as well. But, you know, make sure you're going with the same direction as your wood grain. All right, we're ready for a coat of epoxy. Here's what we got after all of our little touch-ups. Now, before I do my epoxy, I am going to re-look at it in a different lighting. So check and double check every time before you do your epoxy, just to be on the safe side. And I'm going to throw a coat of epoxy on this. All right, guys, I did end up sanding the handle. I didn't show that, but all I did was use my little sanding pad because I'm hoping that this can be the final layer. I'm going to clean up around the rim, and I got my epoxy mixed, and we're going to add some SOC glitter sparkle dust, and we're going to use teal. And it's going to add a shimmer to the epoxy. And it only takes a teeny tiny bit of this stuff. And I'm hoping this will be the one and only layer that we have to do. I don't want like a whole bunch of sparkle, but I did want to add some special sparkle. Okay, now on this, because I'm hoping this is going to be the final layer, I haven't did no epoxy on top of the wood grain yet, but I'm going to clean this rim up, and ever so slightly I'm going to put just a tiny bit of alcohol on this, and I'm going to go around the rim to reveal my edge again. Never gonna guess what I just did. I'm gonna have to touch up my cup because I had some alcohol on my other hand, and I'll be darned if I didn't touch it. So, and this just saves us a step later, just in case it does happen to be a good coat. Okay, I'm just gonna dab a little bit of alcohol on the end of my brush, dab it on my paper towel. I want to fix that little spot. Can't even notice. Now I'm going to go put our epoxy on, and we'll be good to go. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. I've been trying really hard. I don't know how these guys get them done in like 15 minutes because I've been really trying hard. But I hope you enjoyed the content. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe. It really helps me out a lot. And I hope to see you next time. Have a blessed day.